My name is Rosa Malango, and I'm the United Nations Resident Coordinator and UNDP Resident Representative for Uganda. I'm delighted to be here today. So, when can we say that a country is emerging? I believe that there are three moments when we can say that a country is emerging. First, there has to be a very clear national vision that is owned by every single citizen of that country. Second, there has to be a narrative about the country's vision that is recognized at the international level so that people can contribute to it significantly. And third, there has to be evidence of a very concrete effort to be able to improve and implement this vision in order to improve the quality of life of the citizens of that country. If we were to think about how the organization that I work with contributes to the emergence of Uganda and Africa, I believe that we have three things that I could say. Number one, as a United Nations country team and also as UNDP, we contribute to Uganda by being a strategic partner. We contribute by helping them to identify how to facilitate the implementation of Vision 2040 of Uganda, how to capitalize on what Agenda 2030 and the Sustainable Development Goals can give to Uganda, and finally, how can Uganda achieve its development objectives and be part of 2063 African vision of the Africa that we want. In terms of what are some of the factors that could hamper the emergence, allow me to identify a couple of things that we are already working on. On Uganda, we work with the government and the people of Uganda to identify areas of economic growth. What are the engines? And I'm delighted to let you know that some of them include industrialization. We are pushing for green industrialization. We're pushing for tourism. We're pushing for education and security. All those are engines of growth, which we are working with Uganda to maximize them. Secondly, we look for opportunities for Uganda to communicate with other regions. For example, how can Uganda's milk be bought in Nigeria and hence feed from the East Africa to the West Africa markets? What are the opportunities for trade and development that are there? This is how we work across regions. And thirdly, we go beyond Africa to look into Asia and Latin America to see what are the lessons from those countries that can be applied, particularly in our rural areas, so that no one is left behind. Uganda today is the second country with the largest number of refugees in the world, number one in Africa. So one of the factors that could hinder their ability to emerge and fulfill Vision 2040 would be the inability to mobilize investment for their vision to produce. Uganda is one of the only countries in the world, not just Africa, where as a refugee, you can contribute to economic development. You have the freedom to work, to live, and own a home. But that model is only sustainable if we invest in agriculture, food security, urban planning, and sustainable water management. So some of the things that we think that will be important to say to others as we conclude is help us to invest in education options. We need to make sure that we have Ugandans who are trained to work in the emerging industries, from oil to agribusiness to renewable energy. We need support to reinforce our local champions. We have private sector and civil society, but they're emerging, and we need to learn from those around us. And we need to be able to link these emerging industries across Uganda, across East Africa, and across Africa. We are a firm believer that Africa is a major market. I conclude to our internet users around the world in terms of what is expected from you. I expect you to come and invest in Africa. Africa is the greatest emerging market in the world. Africa is where we are implementing a new approach to economic development. It is everyone's business. We can and we will develop. We will be able to improve prosperity for people while protecting the planet. We look forward to seeing you in the Pearl of Africa, Uganda. Thank you.